Let's say you bought the original K.O.II with 64 megabytes of memory. Then a few years later, TE releases the 128 megabyte version of the same device. What is your reaction to that? The first thing I started wondering was, would it be possible to upgrade the original 64 megabyte K.O.II to a 128 megabyte of memory with a chip swap? Warning, this video is for educational purposes only, and this mod will 100% void your warranty and can permanently damage your unit by doing this. I do not suggest doing this unless you know what you're doing, so let's get into it. There are some things we need to do before the chip swap. You need to make sure that your unit is updated to the latest firmware and back up the K.O.II if you care about what's currently on the device, as the chip is going to be swapped, so all the samples and stuff will no longer be there. So while I'm in the sample loader, I wanted to show you how much memory is currently on the unit, which only have the factory samples, and that's 33.6 megabytes. And I want to see if there's anything else on the flash memory chip besides the samples, so I deleted all the samples, and I was happy to see that when all the samples were deleted, it said 0, which means that the new chip should also be 0 as well, because there's nothing on it. The original K.O.II uses a Winbound W25Q512J V64 megabyte flash memory chip, and if I want to get the increased memory, I need to swap the chip with a Winbound 25Q01J V128 megabyte flash memory chip. You also need to make sure that the chip is in the correct package. The pin/pad configuration that you want is the WSUN 8x6mm chip. You do not want the ball array one or the SOIC 300 MIL. So I ordered the chip and it took about a week for it to get to me. Now it's time to take apart the K.O.II. This isn't too difficult. The most annoying part, honestly, is just taking off all the screws. And if you've ever fixed your fader, then you know how to take apart the K.O.II. This is pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to go too much into it. Once the board is off, you need to find this chip here. This is the flash memory chip that needs to be swapped. So I added some flux and used a heat gun to remove the chip, and it didn't budge. After a few more failed attempts at removing the chip, I thought that maybe heating the bottom would be necessary, so I made a ghetto hot plate with tin foil on the bottom and tried to remove the chip that way. I suspect that the heat pad at the bottom of the chip will be necessary because there's like a pad on the board. So I added some more flux and gave it a go, but this did not work as well. So I ended up getting a hot plate and tried to preheat the chip on a proper hot plate, added more flux, did another attempt with no luck. I tried higher heat with lower flow from the heat gun. I tried higher heat with higher flow. I tried lower heat and lower flow. I tried using the heat pad with all those variations and with the heat gun as well, and the chip would not budge. I tried staying within 340 to 360 degrees with the heat gun. I didn't want to go too high because I thought it might damage the board, and I used the heat pad around 200 degrees is where I was kind of maxed out at. I used more flux and this goddamn chip would not budge. I did not want to try the solder blob method as there were very small components around the chip that would likely get damaged in the process. I had another idea where maybe removing all the components close by and then using the soldering blob method to heat the pad and then swap the chip and replace the components or put the components back on the board. This was so much work and I felt like there would be too much risk, so I'm not willing to try that at this moment. I had enough trying to swap this chip, but I did learn a few things. The solder on the board is likely lead free and has a much higher melting point than solder with lead. I sort of already knew this from how much of a pain in the ass it was to remove the fader from the board, so I might have to attempt this again with much higher heat, but I'm just not willing to do that at this moment. I also think using a heat pad to preheat the board is very much necessary to pull this off, and I also think that the flux I have could be some cheap shitty flux, so maybe getting higher quality quality flux will also help as well. I was conflicted to even post this video because at this point I did not succeed in what I wanted to do, but I gave it an attempt. I learned so much about flash chips and circuit boards and IC removals in my research, and I actually had a lot of fun doing this project even though it ended up in a failure. I still would very much like to attempt this again one day, as I am very stubborn. I just need a little break as I'm tired of working on this board, and I do not recommend anyone trying this. However, if they can learn from this video and successfully do this with maybe even external help, and I really hope that maybe this info from this video would, assist someone, that would be awesome. I actually do know someone in Australia who's trying to attempt the same thing, and I'm advising them every step of the way. So I really hope they can get it done, and I will report back on what they accomplished. And just thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below, as I'm a little bummed I was unable to do this. And thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it.